You're listening to the Wicked Theory Podcast.
We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Broadcasting to you live from the bodega on the edge of the city, on the edge of forever. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Yo, hey. Live and unplugged this week. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. We took a week off, but we returned. I'm here. I got Uncle Jay.
How you doing, Bill? Things are okay?
No, I'm still alive.
That's great. I'm just trying to delay Bob's opening as much as I can.
So I'll just play over you. How's that? I have more volume than everybody here. You realize? I'm being nice.
I can debate that. My voice can get loud.
Yeah, we know this, but I have amplifiers.
So Bob means the guitar. You mean your voice.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so anyway, here we are. It's another week. This is episode 199. Next week will be 200. We'll get to that in a minute. But we do it live. 200, man. So we do this live every Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do it on Mixler. That's an app you can come check out. Bob, problem?
I didn't get to say hello. I wasn't introduced.
Oh, I'm sorry. No one knows who this voice is.
Because somebody kept stomping on you so you could
Fair enough,
ignore me.
fair enough, Bob. Fair enough. Tell them who you are.
I'm Bob.
Thank you. Hey, just in case. All right. So, but anyway.
I couldn't let him be successful.
Or,
God forbid.
God forbid. This is 199. We do it every week. Sometimes it's like this. Sometimes it's more professional. Who knows? It's always a crapshoot. But we do it on Mixler. That's an app. You can go check us out there. Download it yourself. Take us wherever you go. Mixler, Mixlr. There's no E. Download it. Get the free app. Search for us there. Or just go to mixlr.com/wicked-theory. Come hang out. Get in the chat room. There's a chat room. We give them a game. They play the game. They hang out. They listen to us for some reason. And then, we'll talk pop culture news, all that good stuff. That's the official opening. And just send us an email if you'd like to do that. podcast@wickedtheory.com. And I think I'm good. Bowerfett says, I challenge the professional. I think he means the professionalism. He challenges that statement.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. This show is rarely professional. If you want professionalism, you got to go somewhere else.
Yeah, well, you have to pay for professionalism. This is a free
That's
show.
what makes it professional, right? It's getting paid for the gig. That's true. So it's amateur hour forever here, guys.
Yeah.
I disagree.
You disagree?
Despite the Patreon.
Despite all that. That's where you find the professionalism.
That don't count. There's not enough. Isn't enough.
Sure. Okay.
Don't pay the bills.
No, it's not. But that's neither here nor there. I guess in the opening stuff here, a couple things to get to. First off, Jay, the Kickstarter for the upcoming Friday the 13th project, fan film that you're involved with. How's that going? What's the status, Gladys?
I think we reached just about 4,700.
$47 million.
Yeah, 4,700 million.
Nice.
No, it's I think it's the last time I checked it. I think it's clocked at like 4,720.
Nice,
something like that, which ain't bad.
That's 4,700 pennies.
Yeah,
that's not too bad when you look at it like that.
170 smackaroos.
A lot.
But Dave Brown, he's in charge of that. He's been spreading the word on different horror sites, Friday the 13th fan sites. So he's been doing a decent job with that. There's a couple of promotional pictures now up at the Facebook page.
Okay.
Just look for his name was Jason, a Friday the 13th fan film Facebook page.
Ooh, yeah.
And if you got a few dollars, you want to see the movie,
help us out.
Help them out. Go help Dave out. It's Dave's baby.
That's true. John Zombie John says he's in for $100.
Thank you, John.
And actually, I kicked in my little contribution
yes,
too.
Yes, thank you.
You're
thank
welcome.
you very much.
You're
and
welcome.
Dave thanks you too.
Oh, nice. Tell Dave I want a back rub.
Okay.
That's all I want.
Well, he's in Queens. That can be arranged. But I'm very humbled by all the receptions. There's a lot of people that want to see it. It's It's going to take a few dollars, a
That's
few
it.
fuzzholes.
A few fuzzholes. A few,
A few goals.
there you go.
But thank you guys for your support on it.
Oh, no problem whatsoever. So, moving along a little bit in the opening things, next week is episode 200.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing kind of a split show. It's a little bit of, hey, it's episode 200. And if anybody missed it last week in the after show, not last week, but the week before, that it's officially going to happen. We're going to do the roast of me, the roast of Bill. It was a last minute kind of off the cuff powwow happened.
Well, as I recall, it was a creation of all of us. Just
Yeah,
pretty much.
and once there was a couple of commitments to actually come here from out of state, there was no backing out.
Yeah, so at this point, it looks like Agent Palmer, Steph Muniz, if all goes right, they're coming into town. John Zombie John's going to be here.
Oh, wow.
Everyone will get a chance to make fun of me. I'll get a little chance to make fun of them back. But in the first half of it, or the first part of it, we'll just kind of do the whole, hey, how's everybody doing? It's episode 200. We'll, blow smoke up our own ass and shit for a little bit. So if anybody wants to get in emails for that next week, that's cool. Depending on how much stuff, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on, I think, depending on how much it goes. I might truncate if people write some long-winded shit.
watch your mouth.
Thank you. Stuff. I might truncate it down a little bit, so I'm just saying, keep it to the point. You know what I mean? Just no manifestos, or
So
they'll get read, but they may not get read on air exactly.
So 6 microphones.
Yeah. 6 microphones, which in the end still might not be enough because the call has gone out to Ed and to Dom, and we'll see what happens. I've got. It looks like they're on board, but it's not ink yet. So not putting pressure on anybody. So we got that to look forward to next week. I will say to anybody who's coming to do roast stuff,
I ain't giving up my chair.
well,
Fuck you.
Well,
Unless I sit in your
He
chair.
ain't gonna be able to give up his chair, Bill.
Unless I sit off your chair.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, we got some logistics to work out that day, so everybody will have to play along to get along. But
I make no promises.
right, neither do I. So, but you can play along or leave.
Yeah,
That's just
baby.
the way it's gonna be.
Yeah, baby.
Play along, do what I say, or go home. For one episode out of 200. The one episode I'm going to be a dick to everybody. It's the one that's like, we're actually doing something. But I will say about the roast thing is just, I know talking to a couple people are like, I don't know about like, how am I going to write jokes, bits? Like, I don't know. I'm like trying to kick it around and having a little bit of trouble. Don't try and kill yourself trying to be fucking Henny Youngman or some shit or Jeff Ross. But, shoot for the funny. Yeah. If you're having trouble coming up with stuff, just stick to the stuff that you know about whoever, as far as maybe it relates to the show, what you know within the show. Goof on the show if you want to, since you goofed on me.
I was gonna say write a lead in.
Yeah.
For something.
Right.
You know what I mean? A little blurb that might sound like you're trying to be nice, and then see where that takes you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's usually that's the kind of setup you get in a roast.
Yeah.
It's like, Bill, you're a hell of a guy. Then
here comes the
zinger.
Right.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
So yeah.
So if you kind of think about the formula and the setup, maybe that makes it easy.
There you go. Or if you want more formula and setup, go to YouTube. Look up some roasts. I'm not saying you got to steal a little bit, but I mean that'll put you in the headspace. So there's that. No guarantees on how much we'll interact with the chat room that night. I don't know what's going to happen or how that's going to go down, but we appreciate you guys coming by every week and hanging out, and especially next week. So we'll see how it goes with the chat room.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling we'll be kind of distracted here in the element. So I'm just going to put that out now as like a soft warning, I guess. Okay. All right. On to other things.
Yeah. What's next?
Chat game, because there's kids in the chat room, and they're hanging out, and they're chatting it up, actually, already. A little bit. That's the sound. That's the chat room. That's the chat room sound. It's jingling ice.
A little slow on that soundboard.
A little slow on that soundboard, yeah. So we got, let's see who's in there. We got Agent Palmer helping out. He's behind the scenes. He's a co-assistant producer, remote extraordinaire.
All right.
Check him out at angelpalmer.com. You enough. You got your little plug-in. Bauer Fett, John Zombie John, Uncle Jay, he don't count. James Baham, and Wesley. Looks like we got a good lineup. We're going to do food TV this week, guys. It might feel familiar. It might have been done before. But this is episode 199, okay? These things are not easy to come up with on the fly. I had to do that. Literally, that's one of the reasons why we didn't land at 7 o'clock on the dot. So examples include Everybody Loves Ramen and one grape at a time. So if you thought this was stupid, you do better, all right?
Yes, SpongeBob Square Pizza.
See? You know, if that you don't like that one, top it. You know? Jay, you got one?
No, one grape at a time is funny.
No, thank you. Yeah, kids, play around with that. And then we're going to fucking get into the next little segmento. We call it Le News. Yeah, news time. So, you may or may not be aware that James Gunn is back on Guardians.
OMG.
Yup. Disney was like, I think the dust settled. I think the coast is clear.
I think it's okay to make money with him again.
Yeah. When Warner Brothers bought him up, no one seemed to, like...
Did they apologize?
Who? Disney? No. For what?
This is the apology.
Well, the question is,
Pretty much.
Will this stick? Or will there be like another letting him go?
I thought it was bullshit to begin with.
Oh, no, yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. And wait, well, the alt-right will start digging again, and maybe they'll find something.
Well, people who already had their stuff in the muff are already, still kind of right back to where they were with him and saying, like, oh, still not a good idea. But, look, here's the thing, folks. And the last time this came up,
I think $1 billion says otherwise.
Well, regardless of that, I think the real thing is about, if we're talking about the morality of it all, if we're all going to be held to what we did 10 years ago,
yeah, we should.
We're all fucked.
We should just all line up to go to hell right now.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And
and let's all remember, people, that there is such thing as called, glass houses and throwing stones, et cetera, et cetera. So take it. I mean, we all have shit that we don't want nobody else to know about, and that's what this comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to that. I think also too, it comes down to one of the other points that I made this week. That was my stance on it. Was just kind of like, look. If you want to give James Gunn a hard time still about shit he said 10 years ago, old jokes that are inappropriate, then make sure that you're consistent with your hate, right?
Right.
So be sure that you hate Howard Stern, you hate Eddie Murphy, you hate Andrew Dice Clay,
right.
You hate Chris Rock, you hate Sarah Silverman, you might as well toss in George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Lenny Bruce. Okay?
And just about every other fucking comedian that's
ever lived, yeah.
Outside of Seinfeld and Gallagher, you know what I mean? Because, even Jay Leno is, was known for being pretty raunchy and offensive in his act. And so here's a guy.
You had to be.
Right. And so here's a guy who's like the crap you're giving him crap about or tweets on Twitter. That's not even like, it's not even like, oh, that was what his career was being an offensive dude.
Right. He was just trying to get a chuckle out of people.
And granted, it's uncomfortable stuff he was doing the jokes on, but that was kind of like what that was that part of the shtick. So it comes back to what Carlin says about context. It's all about context. What are you going to do? Start lining up people for attempts to be funny? Because that's all it was, and it's hard. It wasn't like he was like, hey, I'm in NAMBLA. We need more members. Let's see who we can get to come over and hang out with me and some kids.
Right.
It was attempts at being funny.
Right.
And if it doesn't work, then what do? You're just going to, hold somebody to the flame forever?
There's also another faction that I have to get off my chest about this whole situation. Disney used to own something called Hollywood Pictures.
Hollywood Pictures, right.
All right. Touchstone was another division.
Right.
Now, Hollywood Pictures released a movie years ago called Powder. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
Sean Patrick Flannery. All right. Yeah. So the writer and director of that movie is a known sex offender.
Right.
Okay. So let's just say, I think they did know. They just went
at
through
the time,
with it.
Yeah.
But let's just say they didn't know.
Right, sure.
It was 20 years ago.
Right.
You still made Blu-rays and DVDs, and they're making money off of it.
You should
so
stop
aren't
buying
you a
Disney-
little hypocritical? Doesn't matter when.
Right.
You're still, because if it's a matter of when, he did that 10 years ago on Twitter.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of when again.
And Disney made money off it.
Right.
So you should stop watching Disney stuff. It's like, how moralistic are you going to be, and are you going to stick to your guns? Because if you now hate James Gunn, then you should just stand strong and say, like, well, I'm not going to watch anything Disney, and that's fine. It's like, and that's the thing I said in that tweet. Like, it's okay to disapprove, but just be fair with it.
But these people are not going to watch fucking Disney.
course
I mean, even though they say they are, they're blowing their old fucking smoke out of their ass.
That's it.
But yeah, man, they should learn from their own mistakes.
Yeah, well, the people who dug all this shit up in the first place are the kinds of people who don't give a shit about the dirt in their own closet. Right. And the moment the shit of their own comes out, they're all getting all huffy and bent out of shape about it. But you know what? Same shit.
Yeah.
For everybody, right?
Yeah, we live. Sadly, there's an aspect of our culture now that is troll culture. That is, people get a kick out of that, of just kind of like stirring shit up for the sake of stirring shit up, and like, watching somebody fucking come undone because I got you. You know what I mean? So whether it's a small fucking, I put you in a twist in a chat room, or in a comment section, or on Twitter, or I pulled out some shit from your feed from years ago and got you in trouble. Ha I got you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And and so you had all those people who, like, for the last 20 years have grown up on that, and that's been their headspace, and then people coming up in it now, the kids of 4chan and all this kinds of shit. You know what I mean? It's a good time to be alive. It's a great time to be alive.
Yeah, it is. Thanks for giving us the internet.
Yeah, so...
which was broken when you gave it to us anyway. So.
That's true. But anyway, he's back on, so it's something to look forward to. My only thinking, I was talking to Bobby about this earlier today, is that I got to guess that for Disney, it was like, well, Warner Brothers picked him up to do Suicide Squad 2. So he can't be that toxic. He's
really,
you know what I mean?
They didn't come hang Warner Brothers for putting him on that movie.
And they seem to be having a little bit of a stall going on with getting it going without him now.
Yeah. Well, they have a whole cast that won't make the movie without him.
And then there's that. Yeah. It's like a cast that was pretty much like, I think that might have been part of it too, behind the scenes of like them. Disney might have tried to flex a little bit, like, all right, guys, well.
You're all in the contract, and
we got to start doing like pre-production stuff with some of you guys. How you feeling? And then I'm sure like Dave Bautista and a couple of other people were like, I don't know, man.
Well, Dave Bautista sounds like he's just one of the most loyal guys. You got his back, he's got your back.
No, fucking forget it.
So he'll go to the mat for you. No pun intended. But you get what I'm saying.
Sure, absolutely. He's like, I'd love to have him in an alley with me.
Really?
As long as he's on my side.
I'm just waiting to see if Disney disowns Powder on Monday. Because then that means you guys got...
Someone's listening.
And we got some pull.
That means that someone's finally listening to this damn show.
That's
what that means.
We're getting metrics.
I don't even care about the more realistic kind of bullshit.
Like, who the fuck dug that
out? Public statement from Disney reads, we were informed of a podcast with no listeners who made a really great point, and the internet exploded. So we're sorry. We're very, 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 very sorry.
And the guy and they didn't tweet about it. This guy actually did that shit. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't tweet about it.
All right, I got one more here, Bob. Set up your phone because you're up after me. Loose scuttlebutt. Nothing really announced too hard, but there's talk that Marvel is looking at doing an animated What If series, which if you are a comics fan, you might know about the Marvel What If book series, which was like basically, what if other things happen instead of what you know? So what if Stephen Rogers didn't become Captain America and someone else did? Or what if the Avengers lost this giant fight? What if the spider bit somebody else instead of Peter Parker?
What if Wolverine killed the Hulk?
What if Wolverine killed the Hulk?
What if Wolverine joined the Fantastic Four?
And actually some of these have probably come to pass in the mainstream, in the main comics. But like, it's a series that has kind of come and gone, but always seems to come back, and Marvel has a lot of fun with it in the book. So it'll be interesting to see like what they do with it, how and where it shows up or pops up, and if there'll be a thing where will it serve to the cinematic universe because it's animated, or will it kind of just be like a more broad thing? Like, you know what I mean? Because I don't know which I would really want, but it will not be canon. According to the report, it says it will not be canon in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Instead, the stories will explore how the Marvel Cinematic Universe might have unfolded if key moments in the history had not occurred as they did in the recognized canon. Okay, fair enough. All right, so that answers my question. All right, I read that wrong, I guess. One of the episodes, for example, will explore the idea of what if Loki had found the hammer of Thor.
Oh, that was a book, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Each episode will follow a whole new scenario, twisting up the MCU canon and not the comic canon. Okay, I wasn't sure about that. I must have misread that. This is a different article. It's clarifying. The possibility also allows some of the main actors from the live-action Marvel movies to reprise their roles and play, the voices in these alternate possibilities.
Isn't What If non-canonized stories anyway?
Yeah, basically, because it's all like an alternate universe. This is where most people got to know the Watcher from, if you're familiar with that, because he would open up every issue like, I'm a Watcher the Watcher, and I see all the and
I can kill everybody.
I am the one who watches. I'm only supposed to watch. But I can see all the alternate realities and left turns when people took their right turns.
Well, I will say that I know from reading books back then when What If had their first run in the late 70s and the 80s.
Sure.
There were some really amazing books.
Yeah.
I remembered one where they actually put Conan in the 21st century.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was carrying like a gun on him and shit.
Yeah.
Like that was cool. They had one where Thor and Conan battled.
Sure. Yeah.
A few really good ones.
There's a few key ones, and a lot of like one of the ones during that original run for me was what if Captain America got thawed out today?
Yeah.
As opposed to 1960 or whatever it was in the comics.
It was a Sienkiewicz cover too. I remember.
A classic cover, and it was long before the movies came out, so it was kind of like. If I remember correctly, there was like some other guy was pretending to be Captain America, and they had a big fight or some shit.
And I also recall that they were more expensive because they were double issues.
Yeah, probably.
They were
some prestige kind of.
They were like 40-page issues. I remember.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that used to be the other cool thing too. Was like when they started running again in the '90s, and Marvel would have these big summer crossovers. And then they would do the what if. They would do the what if later on that year of like, oh, what if the X-Men lost Inferno or Extinction Agenda or these kinds of things. And they all turned into like these giant space operas.
Right.
Because they would just end up following Earth and the story of like Earth and humanity for like the next 100 years. Like longer than, because you couldn't do that in a regular book. Like you couldn't protract out like how this one thing changes the Marvel Universe forever. But because it's just this one story, well, we could write that, but we would never, ever, ever do in the main books, So, although it's not going to be probably that hardcore in the spirit, it is an interesting concept. It'll be interesting to see what they do with it, but I don't know.
It sounds like it's going to be something they're going to have fun with.
Yeah. I think I will, too.
Yeah.
Bob, what do you got there, Bob?
Well, what I got is, a little movie called Suicide Squad 2.
I remember that.
Yeah, we kind of mentioned the director, James Gunn.
Yeah.
Awesome director.
Feels like it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, just a few minutes ago, I think. Well, he decided that, he needs Deadpool, not Deadpool, Deadshot.
Yeah,
Deadshot in Suicide Squad 2, but Will Smith's no thank you.
He's not jiggy with it.
He's not jiggy with it. He doesn't want to do good movies, I guess.
Right. He's heading out to the Wild Wild West.
Yeah. So I got Idris Elba.
Okay.
So, and I'm liking this idea.
Talk about an upgrade.
I was actually feeling like, I wasn't too crazy about Will Smith. I wasn't when I heard about him.
Okay.
And I wasn't too crazy about him when I saw him. So I feel like this is definitely a step in the right direction.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look,
you got Heimdall, right? He's Heimdall, right?
Yeah. Well, he was.
I think they're gonna let this slide. I mean, I think they're starting to run out of actors to like start casting in these different superhero movies.
Well, he's dead.
There's gonna,
like he's dead in the MCU.
That's true.
And not by the Rapture, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that was.
He just gets killed outright.
Yeah, he got killed outright as soon as somebody
spoiler.
came through the gate.
But yeah, so this is good news because to me it's like Will Smith was okay in it. I'm not gonna miss him like in any particular way. I don't think he brought anything too particular to the table that was like something. Oh man, it's just not the same without him now.
Right.
I mean, granted, he spends half the movie under a mask, but it wasn't like his performance was so revolutionary that you can't go on without him.
Right. So, in other news, and this one actually, the link is now dead.
Oh no!
So I'm gonna have to.
I must have messed that up for you. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, this. So anyway, everyone remember a little movie called School of Rock?
School of Rock.
Jack Black.
Yeah, with Jack Black, right? It was a nice, fun movie, right? We had a few breakouts, Amanda Cosgrove, et cetera, et cetera. Well, remember the kid, Kevin, the guitar-playing kid, the violin player? Well, now he's an adult, and evidently he has a drug problem because over the past 5 weeks, and this is about a week old, this article. Right. So over the past 5-week period, he got arrested 4 times for stealing electric guitars from music stores.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Not good.
Yeah, and there's definitely a drug problem involved.
Oh, no.
So there's that little nugget.
So, poor guy.
Yeah, but a little something else here, though, in the heavy metal, and it's a bit of a crossover thing.
Okay.
Megadeth and heavy metal are going to publish a 35th anniversary graphic novel.
Mm-hmm.
Cash!
With all-star creators. This is, I saw this with heavy metal. I was like, dude, this is cool.
Well, Heavy Metal Magazine. Some people aren't...
Heavy Metal Magazine.
Sure.
Right, so, anywho. So, everyone knows Heavy Metal Magazine, right? So this is going to... I'm looking for details here.
So they're joining forces with Megadeth, and these are going to be some comic book adaptions of Megadeth songs. Some top talent on it, writing and doing the art. Songs like Mechanics, Killing Is My Business, Good Morning, Hangar 18, Holy Wars.
Rattlehead.
You got, good names on here. You got Tim Seeley, Brendan Small. You got, let's see here. You got...
the image of Vic Rattlehead, who's their mascot. He looks pretty badass. They got him set up in all sorts of armor and all sorts of cool violent gear.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like everything's pretty much going to run like a sci-fi horror-ish kind of vibe.
Yeah, like a post-apocalyptic kind of thing, a little bit. You know, alternate future kind of thing.
Let's see who else. Some names people might recognize: Alex DeCampi, Dan Fogler. Let's see.
Sebastian. I have seen it. Sebastian Germer and Esau Escorza.
Yeah, Justin Jordan, John Bivens. The list goes on and on. There's a lot of talent in it. Let me see. Fraser Irving. There's another one. Let me see if we can see.
Brendan Small, is that a popular one?
Yeah, I think I know
Patrick
Brendan Small. Let's see. The project, carefully curated by Megadeth's co-founder Dave Mustaine. Inside understanding of the universe of Megadeth.
Sounds great to me.
Yeah, it looks pretty badass.
Actually,
man.
it does. There's a lot of, on this article at bleedingcool.com, there's a lot of images from the comics.
There's a lot of promo art here.
And it's pages right from the art, art pages, I guess.
And it feels like a thing where it's like, it's so anthology kind of set up where like, you don't need even to know the band or the songs.
Right.
Like you just kind of flip through it.
One-off stories.
Yeah, it's going to be a thing where like if you flip through this will probably either appeal to you or not. But that's the thing. Like
it's about Heavy Metal Magazine's always been about promoting the artists as much as cool stuff.
Right.
So this is a serious thing. This isn't like a Kiss comic book.
Right. This actually looks like anything else that would have came out of an issue of Heavy Metal Magazine.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's the idea. That's the idea. Right. It might get a bit R-rated. We don't know, but that's a pretty fair assessment from Heavy Metal Magazine.
Sure.
So this is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. Bob.
In comics news, real quick.
Are you curious enough? Bob, that you would want me to make sure I pick this up for you at the comic shop?
I might one day after it comes out go to the
reassess at the time.
One day when you need a ride, maybe go there and
like,
take
hey,
a look.
you got any of those laying around? Let me thumb through it first. I got you.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Good call.
But in other comic book news, there's this quick aside. I figure everyone loves the Orville.
Yeah, people like it.
Especially this past season. They've really stepped things up, and Dark Horse Comics is going to be doing a sci-fi series.
Orville.
The Orville.
Nice.
Right, it's a 4-issue series for this summer.
Oh, cool.
So it's just a limited run, not a huge story arc or anything, and just one. I guess it's going to be one nice story. So it's a nice little aside. If you like for Orville, check it out. I'm sure it's going to be a decent comic. Right, I don't see any real names here, but Dark Horse has a lot of good people.
Yeah, I mean the artwork on the cover preview looked pretty good.
Yeah, it actually does. It actually looks like a lot.
I'm sure it won't be.
It's very clean, very crisp.
Very crisp. Speaking of crisp.
But yeah, so check that out if you're into comics as well.
All right.
And that's pretty much all I got.
All right, very good.
Uncle Jay, over to fuck you.
Yeah. Over to shaken, not stirred.
By the way, it's a very large cash for that heavy metal magazine.
Oh, that for that Megadeth stuff. Sure.
Always been a big fan of that.
Megadeth does have a beer now, too.
Mega beer.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. It's Toulamond.
Oh.
The beer.
Sure.
Peace sells.
A lot of bands are coming out with their own beers now.
Yeah.
Motorhead did it, and now everyone's jumping on.
There you go.
But who's buying?
Hopefully somebody. Maybe one of us. So, Jay, what do you got in the news for you?
Star Wars trailer, Episode 9.
9.
Due out April 12th.
April 12th?
Anybody looking forward to seeing the trailer? I know that's a huge event for every Star Wars film.
Good Lord Almighty.
There are, it's not really a rumor, it's kind of like a matter of fact, but they're still calling it a rumor.
Yeah,
they say it's going to drop on April 12th.
Yeah, because this is the thing. This is usually what happens is that, like, it's probably, I'm going to presume this is what happened here, is that, like, the houses got a hold of the trailer. This is what happens, like the places where this has to get disseminated from, these kinds of things, or the movie theater chains. Somebody always kind of leaks that, it's arrived, or they've seen a sheet of paper that says when it's going to drop. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know if it's so much that, only because the trailer, the teaser trailer for the Star Wars films, when they're released in December, they always come out in like March and April.
Right, fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I do think that you are right in the sense that they showed it to investors, or they showed it to, production heads.
And people in power.
And they'll probably make like a couple of cuts.
Yeah.
Or just say, oh, that's cool, or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I know this is like and it's the end of the Skywalker saga.
That's it, no more. Done.
So, the Skywalker saga, we still have other stuff. Fuck you.
God darn it.
But I'm ready for it.
Yeah. Can't wait.
And last minute here, but this was a couple days old now. The Sopranos sequel is now just going to be called Newark.
Just Newark.
Just Newark.
Just Newark.
Just
because did they realize that there aren't that many saints in Newark?
I have to get on this.
I know. This is making it harder and harder for you.
Only because, look, if a couple years ago, there was a film called Detroit that came out. Mm-hmm. Now, Detroit was basically the riots in '67. So the main storyline of this is going to be the Newark riots.
Yeah. That's the backdrop.
And I'm guessing they're tying in the Soprano family rise inside of this, because all the main characters are all Sopranos.
Sure. And I think for David Chase, that's the era that he grew up in, is what this kind of like pulls from. So I think it's a lot of I don't know how much is going to be based on legit real situations, but that's where he's pulling from, if I remember correctly, is growing up through that era and all that stuff going down at the time.
Right.
But yeah, they've shortened it down.
It's called Newark.
Got rid of all those saints. There's not that many saints out in Newark.
Believe me, there ain't.
They're only inside the church and they don't come out.
But kind of exciting in the same breath.
Yeah. It's a who's who. It's a murderer's row of fucking actors in general. And for you in particular, to have that like in your backyard shooting,
Like The Sopranos was, basically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
The thing is this, though, because now I'm growing the beard for this, this
other stuff.
thing.
Yeah.
And this is probably going to be shooting over the course of the spring and the early summer.
Right.
The Goombas didn't have the facial hair.
Big beards weren't in back then.
Not then.
Unless they need a biker-looking dude to come in who gets his ass beat or something.
I'm willing to go to a homeless man.
I'll be homeless. I'll be a biker.
I just gotta
whatever
get in.
you need.
I gotta get in.
I'll be Santa.
Dead body number 12.
Yeah, whatever.
112.
112. I'll be like, the guy you can barely even make out. But
I'm excited for the project, even if I wasn't from. It's more Sopranos at the end of the day.
It's more Sopranos. It'll be. I mean, look, it's obviously going to have to stand on its own. I think the thing is, a lot of time has passed for Sopranos, and I think it's so removed from Sopranos in general, where
it is and it isn't.
I think it's going to have to survive on its own in a way. Like it'll get a lot of buzz for it, but in the end, it's like it's a prequel. It's got to kind of do its own thing.
In a sense, I don't know how long it's been since you watched some of those episodes, but they do reference these characters in the show, and they always mention the riots and everything.
The seeds of this have all been kind of mentioned or dabbled with in the series. You know what I mean? Sure.
But as far as if just a simple conversation of everybody coming up to you and saying, we're going to make a Sopranos movie.
Right.
This is really crafty in how they're doing it. Yeah. And the cast really can't be beat at this point.
Yeah. Like I said, it's going to be a real good show.
We're all going to be there.
I mean,
All you need to do is walk around in the halls of these people who make these shows, and you tell them, you just whisper, David Chase, Sopranos, prequel. And it's before you finish saying those words, it's already inked and dealed and done.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, that's actually that's the way it's been since Sopranos ended. That's all they wanted from him.
Yeah. Not to mention they got Alan Taylor, who directed a lot of those episodes too.
Sure.
He also did Thor: Dark World.
Oh, we don't have to talk about that.
You didn't like that one?
I'm just fucking around.
It was okay.
It was all right. That's the problem. It's the Marvel anti-effect. We'll get into that during Captain Marvel, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Okay.
Because it's Captain Marvel, and we've seen it.
Yes, we have.
But that kind of, I think, wraps up the news.
Yeah, and it's not much.
Really, we didn't have a whole hell of a lot, but that's okay.
Well, what we had, we breezed through. We kept it short and sweet and direct.
Short, sweet, and delicious.
And we didn't
digress.
Thank you. We didn't die trying to not digress, like I just did.
Woofda. So we'll do the chat room game because it looks like the kids kind of finished that up a little early, and we'll just get into it because we've got a bunch.
Or they give up?
No, well, they've got a bunch, and we're kind of setting up something a little different. Where as we're going through this, Palmer's going to give them. You know how like later on in the show, sometimes I'll throw a question at us, like a discussion kind of question, crazy scenario, something like that. Kind of throwing it to them first, a little early, so that when we get to it, we can kind of see what they said about it too, and not have a whole delay thing. So
Good idea.
Trying to feel it out, we're trying to do some things on this show once in a while.
Sounds like a professional production.
Doesn't it?
Would do something like that.
Thank God.
Think ahead. Plan ahead. I mean, come on.
It's just unheard of around here. So let's jump into the chat room game. Let's do this. All right, Brother Bob, you're chief.
I'm on the bell?
You're the chief musician in charge, so you are on bell duty.
All right.
Chat room game was Food TV.
Oh, wait, was that early?
Yeah, although I appreciate it because I came up with it, so you gave me a bell for that. So, thank you.
Because you're special.
So, first one here, Meatball Heroes. So, it's Heroes, Meatball Heroes. And then you, Bob.
I love meatballs.
You love meatballs.
Don't we all?
You gotta give me a good meatball, and that's all I need, bro.
Pierogies of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
Enchilada Trek.
Okay, there's a few ships in the Star Trek universe that look like enchiladas.
That's true.
Next time my mother makes meatballs, I'll bring you some.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Bob would fucking stab you if you don't bring them down.
Well, the thing is not to put the chat game on hold, but she doesn't do it all that much.
You need to be ready for me to start masturbating while I'm eting. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, jeez. Bob's got his own sauce.
She makes them good.
All right, so Ash versus Evil Bread.
It's obvious, but it's so good.
It's so perfect.
Funny.
It's perfect. It's perfect. A magnum of wine, P.I. 2 broke bananas. Gravier instead of MacGyver. It's
okay, Gravier.
McGravier.
All right.
Ash versus Evil.
Jay's still stuck on that one.
The McGravier is a good one because you got to think a little.
Well, I'm trying to read it. You know, if he just said it in the room, it would come off the tongue. But trying to read it through me. So let's see what we got here. The Pizza Stones instead of the Flintstones. GI Sloppy Joes.
Okay.
Mashed potatoes. Big Popcorn Theory. But it's all right.
You hate that show.
I do, but that's not. I don't hate.
Yeah,
I like this one. Sounds better though. It's got popcorn. I don't like popcorn. Ham
Popcorn's
smoke.
healthy.
Ham smoke instead of gun smoke.
Starring Peter Porker.
Probably. Future Manwich. Okay. Fried Oreos in the 24th and a half century. 2.5 Oreos. Dr. Stew. I guess instead of Dr. Drew, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sanford and lasagna. Mozzarella Academy. The Walking Dead.
That's okay.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Escargot. Howard the Duck à l'Orange.
You do a little one for that one.
Game of Scones. That's pretty good. Meatballs, she wrote. The Good Peas. Wild Game of Thrones. Criminal Pies. Bangers and Mash. Checks and the City. I think that's funny. Forensic Fillets. Happy Fillets. The Soprasetto, which is supposed to be like the Sopranos. Supersetto.
Yeah, you had to explain that one a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. The West Buffalo Wings. Green Acres and Ham.
That's good.
That's really good. The Dukes of Mayonnaise. The Family Pies. And the Orville Redenbacher. And that's it, folks. That rounds out the chat room game. What a dynamic.
There was some pretty good ones in there.
There was some pretty good ones in there.
Ash versus Evil Red is my favorite.
That might have been the big win. That might have been the big laugh from
And
us.
your face when you read it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you win that one? You turn them into toast?
You know what I mean? So, thanks for playing. And thanks for hanging out. We'll get back to all that nonsense very soon.
Good stuff, guys. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff.
Good work, kids. Speaking of stuff.
Yeah, what kids do we have in there today, Bill?
Well, we did a little roll call. We can see if anybody else managed to pop up.
I mean, it sounds like we had a decent turnout.
We did. I think the Kilted Ginger might be in there now.
Oh, really?
Oh, wait. We are not done yet, folks. There's more.
Ooh, let's keep it
I
coming.
didn't realize they scrolled down to another page.
Oh.
Just when you thought it was over, a little bit extra.
Okay, I'm ready.
A little bit extra on
The music department's ready.
On the late comer, the Kilted Ginger. That's Dan. That's our buddy Dan from Jersey.
Hey, Dan.
He seems to be responsible for most of these. But the theme was food TV.
Yes.
So we got Days of Our Limes. Saved by the Bluebell. Mighty Morphin Pop-Tarts.
Okay.
Friendlies.
I'm not really getting that one.
I think maybe just because there was a restaurant called Friendlies. And
Friends.
So it's just Friendlies.
Okay.
Golden Grills. Which is kind of funny. Fantasy Ice Cream. The Love Potato Boats. Starfruit Trek. Chipperty. Instead of Jeopardy. Chipperty. On Chipperty. And Press Your Lucky Charms. So we'll let him slide in with those. Thanks for coming in late there, buddy. Love seeing you in the chat room there.
Yes. Thanks for coming, Dan.
You Kilted Ginger, you rapscallion. I couldn't even spell that word, but, you know, I'll say it. I mean, I'm not afraid to say it. I think also it's time for...
Meanwhile,
A little bit of Meanwhile. That's kind of like we do reviews and whatnots.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we'll push Captain Marvel to the end because that's the big. We've all seen that.
The elephant in the room.
Yeah. But I don't have a lot to go on with this other stuff. I did watch the first 2 episodes of a docu-series on Prime called Lorena.
Okay, this is the Lorena Bobbitt movie?
Yeah, and, you know, I remember when all that shit went down, and it was kind of, yeah, you know, and how that, I kind of forgot, though, how much that swept the country. That story.
That was like the whole OJ era.
It was like one of these things where like we couldn't stop talking about it, and I kind of forgot that there was like 2 trials because there was a trial of him and then there was a trial of her, and how that's like part of the reason why like it didn't go away for so long.
And then there was the porno he made.
Yeah, so
Frankie
I'm not,
Penis.
and I'm not even up to that yet. But they are both interviewed in this.
Yeah.
So it's not. I
That's
mean, while it's kind of trying to show what her side a little bit, and going to focus more on her trial because that was the longer trial. You do cover his trial, and you do talk to John Wayne Bobbitt, and just kind of examining the whole thing overall. And you know, as much as it's like, oh, it's Lorena's story. At this point, I don't feel like they're trying hard to like convince you of her. It's really kind of about like this was what the situation was, where it turned into like basically like a he said she said thing about their relationship, or whether or not like cutting his dick off was justified.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it is kind of funny in the beginning, kind of revisiting some of that and the whole night of the whole, like, you know, what happened and, like, the cops who were called in and how they reacted to calls and stuff like that. So it's on Amazon Prime. Check it out. Jordan Peele is an exec producer behind it. He really didn't have a lot of hand in it, from what I understand, but it was a thing where, like, he ran into the guy who was trying to get it made, and he was like, that sounds amazing. Let me do whatever I can to help you get that through. Like, you know what I mean? So he kind of like jumped on.
Which is basically what executive producers do.
Yeah, I mean, that is the key role of an EP. Don't get me wrong. But totally worth your time. And I'm super jazzed. I watched like the first like 8 episodes already because they're not really long, of Love, Death, Robots. I've been talking about this for a couple of weeks on Netflix. It's the animated anthology series.
Oh, that launched, huh?
Yeah, for like adults only kind of thing. Not that it's, I mean, it hasn't gotten crazy gratuitous yet, but it's enough there between some curses and some bloodletting and, you know, and I think a couple of pairs of breasts maybe.
They're not abusing the rating; they're using the rating.
Right, exactly. Great way to put it. And the graphic styles change up. You know, the animation styles, because every episode's a different story. So they actually feel like shorts. They feel like animated shorts. They're all different lengths. One of them was like only like a few minutes.
What network?
So it's Netflix.
Oh, it's Netflix.
So it dropped, and it's like 18 chapters, we'll say, you know, because it's not a connected story by any means. The first few are CG or computer kind of stylized, and then you start to see the hand drawn and stuff come in. You know what I mean? So it's not just, you're not locked on that. There is some traditional artwork in further episodes up, but all really good. All have a really kind of dark, futuristic bent to them. All feel kind of like Twilight Zone-ish or Twisty-ish, or just have that crazy blunt ending where it was like, oh, you're just gonna end it right there? Okay, that's balls. Okay, you know, stuff like that. So I highly recommend it. It's probably what I'm just. It speaks to me on a lot of levels, so I can't possibly recommend it enough, really. But you know, that's what that is. I think a lot of people we hang out with will enjoy it. I think you guys too, because it's definitely a thing where you can just burn through it too.
Right. It sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You know. And I'm one of those guys that I don't shy away from good cartoons wherever they come from.
There you go. That's the thing. If you're
I don't
open
go out
to
of
it,
my way looking for them necessarily, but if they happen upon me, I'll check them out.
Yeah. I feel like it's worth your time.
Yeah. When I saw the cuts for it, I'm like, this is totally my cup of tea. It kind of also reminded me how pumped I was about the Animatrix.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of great stuff for the Animatrix stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in there. If anyone hasn't actually seen that, check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's probably like a great way to put it. Like if you've seen that, especially going through all those chapters where that's got some different animation styles.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is visually that's where this thing lies.
Right.
You know, and they're not all deadly serious. Like number 2 and number 3 is called Three Robots, and like that's kind of like a goofy, kind of fun thing with a dark slant to it. So it's not all, you know, Ghost in the Shell, Matrix, you know, crazy.
Psycho.
There's one that feels like a Pixar production kind of thing where it's like, it's a cute family kind of thing. We got, you know, farms to protect and we got to fight off these fucking beasts, you know.
So
we all got giant robots and it's got a cute wholesomeness to it, but it's got a dark angle too. Like, you know, so it's a varied kind of palette going on there.
Nice.
Cool.
I'm ready.
You ready? Well, speaking of, Jay, you saw a couple things. We jump to you.
I saw a film called Greta.
Okay.
Which was with Chloe Moritz. You might know her as
Hit Girl.
Hit Girl.
And I think I know what this is. I think I saw a preview.
Yeah,
trailer.
you know, this movie like came out of nowhere, and it got a little traction on it. You know what I mean? And the director was Neil Jordan, who did The Crying Game and.
Shit.
Oh God, my mind is fucking drawing a blank now. Interview with a Vampire.
Oh, okay.
You know, that kind of stuff. So he's a really good director. The movie is kind of like like an alternate version of Misery a little bit, where this older woman played by Isabelle Huppert, which is a great actress, French actress, who's starting to make a comeback in films now, and she basically leaves her purse on a train, and Grace Moritz finds it and returns it to her, and they have like a bond. And Chloe Moritz has just lost her mom, so there's like this bond attraction to that. Like she was very motherly, and then she finds about like 15 of the same purse.
This is a thing that the lady does.
I
saw a scene. Like, you know how sometimes on YouTube, like, it won't just be like an ad for a movie that pops up. It'll be like just a 3-minute scene from a movie.
Yeah.
And so it pulled me kind of like right in.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was like a stalkerish, obsessive kind of thing.
And it is.
Okay. From the old lady.
Right. From the old lady
to the kid.
And the one thing I want to say about this, this is something that you've seen before.
Okay.
But this goes to a point that I once made on the show a while back. If you get good actors and a good director and tell that formula again, you can see something different in the same formula. You know what I mean? And it worked for me. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but for these actors and to see them and you know, it held my interest. You know, it was a good film. It was fun.
Cool.
So you know, that's a you know, just regular cash from me. And then I saw another intriguing movie called The Last Man, and this is Hayden Christensen's latest film. Okay. He's been doing, as we spoke off air about, indie films. Smaller indie films. And from the couple that I've seen, they're quite interesting.
All right.
You know what I mean? And it kind of shows where, you know, listen, you know, he's not, you know, Daniel Day-Lewis, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, he's better than he is in those Star Wars films.
Right.
Because I thought that George Lucas has misdirected him.
Right.
Because there's proof of him that he can act.
Yeah.
But this is basically...
He can act. When he doesn't have good dialogue to play off of.
Right. Well, yeah, in those films, I agree. I can't really stick up for it as much. But this is about the world goes into an economic crisis. And basically a world war happens, but nothing nuclear.
Oh, fair. Okay.
You know what I mean? But we're living in this, you know, the dregs of society now, and civilization is just about getting by, and everything's, you know, just abysmal and shitty. And Harvey Keitel is in this, and he plays like a prophet leader, saying that the world is coming to an end.
Right.
There's storms coming. It's going to be cataclysmic, and nobody's going to survive. And you have to be prepared for it. And you follow me, and you'll have sanctuary. So basically, you know, he takes an interest in Hayden Christensen's character, who was a soldier in the ground war.
Okay.
And he's having post-traumatic stress disorder and seeing his friend that died. He's talking to him. He tries to get a job, and it's at this like rinky-dink company that uses his soldier experience for
like tax write-off kind of thing.
No, just like he's running out of money to buy booze with, and to, you know.
Okay.
So it's a different character for him to play.
Yeah.
But the way it looks is really like it's dark. They put some deep thought in it. I think it's a good film.
Okay.
Held my interest, and I didn't think the ending would have happened like that.
Right.
But I do feel this is coming just from a filmmaking standpoint. I do feel it might have been a little misdirected in certain scenes. There's a lot of things I would have done differently.
Fair
but this
enough.
is a foreign director. I think it was done in Argentina.
Okay.
So, but it's good to see Hayden doing some interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a cash for me too.
Cash for
The Last Man.
The Last Man. All right. Yeah, I gotta look into that one because I'm not familiar with that one. All right, so cool. Yeah, not a lot in the meanwhile this week.
Yeah, don't go looking for some extravagant, high-end thing. This is just, it's more like like a conversation piece too.
Okay.
To talk about,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And of course you can pick at it, and
Yeah, right. I get what you're saying. It's kind of like
it's very, indie and
yeah.
But
I'm trying to think of that movie we just saw with Ethan Hawke.
First Reformed.
The First Reformed, kind of
Right.
like I'm not saying the content or the story, but just that kind of a movie where it's like,
Although he was amazing in it.
Right. All right, so that wraps up the meanwhile, and then now I've, with the help of assistant producer Palmer, he put it into the chat room already, so we can go to them in a minute. But I had one of these scenario kind of things, question of the week, trying to pull this in once in a while when I find something good, a good question online I think would be fun for for us, or just stupid.
Like if powder should be taken off shelves?
Well, maybe not exactly that. But so the setup on this one is very straightforward. It's very simple. You have to fight an exact copy of yourself to the death. How do you outsmart yourself? How do you manage to win in a fight to the death against yourself? What's the strategy? How do you approach that? Or are you willing to share what your weakness might be? Because that's what Bauerfett goes to in the chat room. He goes, I shove a banana in my clone's mouth to get the violent reaction to a banana smell that I always have. So...
Well, the thing is like since I'm me now and I got to go find myself.
Yeah, fight yourself.
Yeah. I got to go find myself and fight myself.
Right.
I know that I would probably have to do an off-guard kill.
Oh, sneak attack?
Yeah.
And you just wouldn't see it coming, that kind of a thing.
Yeah, like I'd have to invest in some sniper weaponry and
Some
maybe
black
just
face paint.
blow my own head off because I know I won't go quietly.
Snipe yourself from
Yeah.
the roof?
Yeah.
And that's a fair point. I guess you would have to kind of do a sneak attack. Thoughts, Bob?
I'd ask him to check out my guitar. And then when he was preoccupied because
Right,
he couldn't
right.
resist,
Right.
I'd smash him with another one.
Here, you check it out. No, check it out. Play. No, play it. Just trust me. No. And then he'd probably give you crap for not setting it up properly or something. And he'd be like, well,
Start
that's what
playing,
you would
turn
do.
around- You get a little busy playing and turn around and smack him.
There you go.
I don't think that I don't think any one of us would draw first blood either. Even. I think we would just be shocked that there's another one of us.
Like that might throw us enough where like we
And
don't.
somebody might pour a drink.
You might just decide to sit down and have some drinks with yourself.
And I
You
think
might-
both of us would think that it would be awesome to have a drink with yourself.
I think that is for sure what would happen with you.
Yeah.
That you would be like, this is fucking too cool to pass up. Where's a bar? Let's go. Where is there a bar around? Let's have some drinks. Whereas, some guys, who knows what they would do with themselves if they found themselves. But that makes a lot of sense. That like, we'll fight later.
Yeah.
Let's get drunk right now. And then later tonight,
Yeah, well, then-
behind
then-
the bar, we'll go at it and see who comes out on top.
They'll get drunk and then they'll end up arguing about something.
Right.
And then take it outside. And that'll be the fun.
I don't know, because that's the thing, right? Like, you probably wouldn't argue with yourself. It would be a lot of, like, agreeing. Like, yeah, man, you're right, bro. You're right.
You're gonna agree with yourself, right?
Everything that the other guy is saying is spot on, bro. High five. High five.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes people get drunk and they just want to pick a fight.
Well, there's that. And I will say, too, there's the other thing with drunk, too, of just kind of like not really hearing and processing what the other guy said. Quite.
Yeah,
like,
would you say? No, not what I say. What you'd say.
Well, if I said it, you said it, so what's the difference? No, don't fucking tell me what I said. What do you mean, my mother? She's your mother, too.
Oh, there's two of her, too?
Ah, that fucking bitch. I can only handle one. There better not be two of her.
When are we doing Captain Marvel?
Oh, did I skip over that?
Yeah, you
did.
did.
I did. You're
Yeah,
right.
you
So
did.
let me wrap up this, and we'll jump back to that. Thank you for the reminder. Good call.
I knew something was off.
Yeah, you're right. I did kind of feel that, too. Yeah, I felt
Especially since you plugged it.
yeah. Don't worry, folks. We'll get to it. Really saving it for the end now.
Yeah.
Although maybe we should do it as the last thing.
That'd be nice. Yeah, go ahead.
This way,
Keep the
do
flow.
it like after emails even.
Yeah.
This way, if people want to tap out, they could tap out then.
Yeah.
You know? All right, we'll do that for now. Let's hope we remember.
So read James's email.
Right. We'll get 2 emails in,
Yeah.
in 10 minutes.
James
we'll be done.
and Wes.
So, yeah, I think my only thing, too, was thinking of that. Like, you just kind of have to do something so unexpected that, like, you know, the whole outsmarting yourself thing is the problem, right? Like, it's like anything I would do, he would do, but it would be down the same road. You'd have to hope that, like, you know, he zigged when you zagged. So it's like, oh, if I hired a sniper, I have to hope that he doesn't hire the same one. Like, you know what I mean?
But my mind can get fucked up somehow, so I don't know if I, like, look at him, I'm thinking, like, body snatchers and shit.
Right.
So I might have to put it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fair enough. So.
But for it to be fair game, I think that each one of us shouldn't know it. They should just be put in a room.
And, like, you don't know who you're up against, and all of a sudden that other guy walks in, like, you both walk in at the same time, and it's like both naked.
Yeah, and then we get
Nowhere to hide.
So I can literally fuck myself.
Well, if you want to. Or maybe that's the way you do it, right?
That's right, I went there.
You know what? No. You fuck me. Right? And this way you're exhausted. And then I have the upper hand. Jay choked on a piece of ice on that one.
Oh, shit. So what did Willis have to say?
So,
Emails.
Yeah, I think Wesley said something earlier that was very similar to what Jay, because Wesley's point was, I'll start by trying to lower the defenses by suggesting we drink a good bourbon.
Oh, he's dead.
Instead of
Wes would
fighting.
be dead.
And then when he's blacked out, bash his head with a hammer. But
I think Wesley 2 is going to win.
Wesley 2?
Wesley 2.
Not Wesley 1.
Yeah, Wesley
Not the
1.
one we know.
Because he already tried to attempt it with bourbon, and I don't think...
Yeah, and then they kind of throw that back and forth, you know, because James calls him out. Yeah, but Wesley, you know, he'll know you're just trying to play him like that. So, and that is the thing. You got to wonder if he's going to be hip to it. You know? I don't know. Sneak attacks. I think it's all about sneak attacks. You know?
Well, I guess the only way we can find out is if we clone ourselves.
Yeah, so let's, you know what? We'll make that the goal for 300.
They are working on that. They're thinking about, they think they're going to be able to clone a dinosaur any day now.
So there you go. Like, we'll start a Kickstarter for that.
It's like the Michael Keaton movie where he clones himself. And then the clone clones himself.
The multiplicity is great.
And each one gets dumber than the last one.
She touched my Pepe, Steve. I feel like I'm that copy now.
Oh, man.
Sometimes.
But
What
it's
if-
so true. If you clone the clone,
Right,
it doesn't come out right.
What if you were your whole life, like you, exactly who you are now, and you found out you were clone number 3? And there are 2 smarter versions of you that exist out in the world. Would you be mad?
No, I don't think I have the right to be.
At least I exist.
I'd be looking for which one has the most money, and I'd take his place.
There you go.
Didn't he have a boot on his head?
I think so. Something like
And a
that.
saw?
He comes walking in. He's got like swimmy goggles on, and like dishwashing gloves, and like all kinds of stupid
That's
stuff.
fun. That's a funny movie. Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton for kids.
Yeah.
Remember him. He's going to be something one day.
Gung Ho. Remember Gung Ho?
That's good too.
That's a good one, too.
The best thing in that movie happens in the first 5 minutes when you see him trying to sell people houses in a development that's called Vista del Muerte. Okay, which is translated into English is the view of death.
Right, sure.
All right.
All right. So, all right. Moving along.
Directed by Ron Howard.
Yes.
Was it?
Yes,
Yeah.
Gung Ho was.
Yeah.
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 Right.
Yeah, a very good director and doing a very mediocre movie
That
with a
happens.
very funny actor.
So, all right. Let's swing over into Email Town, I guess. And we have a jingle. Mails with an E. Because why? Because why not? All right, so going through it here. Let's see what we got from last week or so because we were off.
Here's 3 emails.
Oh, here's one where James kind of forgot, and he was in the chat room waiting for us to get started. And God bless you, James. Thank you for coming
James,
by.
Sorry.
But,
We did everybody know that we weren't going to be here, though.
Yeah, we did kind of say that.
So go scratch.
But you know,
We tried.
okay. So he did send an email before the show started that week. That did not start. He says, "Oh yeah, but I did it. It's a minute to the show start, so technically this fuck you, Jay, was not for something during the show." So unless I'm
I guess
missing
it now is a fuck you, Jay, for not showing up.
yeah, right. So
So we're gonna be nice to James and do all his emails.
well, no.
No.
No,
No,
screw
nothing
James.
like-
No. He's the only one who's got some in here. I mean,
Let's give James another reason to drink.
no. We got to do his emails. He's all we got. All right. So he was browsing YouTube the other day. He says, "Dangerous, I know, but there was an upcoming Marvel releases video that made me question if they're ever going to do a big hook like the Snap, where we see so many, characters affected all at once. I'm trying to kind of paraphrase this because they were just killed. He didn't even see how their deaths weren't done yet. So does it make sense to give away that they'll be back before they are brought back? Doesn't that ruin the mystery? Spider-Man has 2 sequels and he's currently in the dust, but obviously there's nothing to, he's going to come back. So I don't know what the question is because it doesn't make sense to give away that they'll be back before they are actually brought back. Well, no, of course not. But there's almost nothing you can do about it. I mean, there's no way to
Right.
solve that issue if that's what your
Right.
big twist is.
Yeah, I think with an event like this, there's no telling who will and won't come back outside of a few key characters.
And those are...
So I think you still end up with the suspense that you really want because you are talking about an event where you took out half of all living things in the universe.
Yeah, I think the only ones that you can kind of say are definitely safe are characters who have movies in the pipeline.
Right. Doctor Strange is going to have another movie. Know Spider-Man has one in the pipeline.
Right.
Black Panther.
Black
Right,
Panther.
Black Panther, is
Yeah.
going to be back.
And then anybody else is kind of like, maybe not, who knows? I mean, they fall under that umbrella, and you can argue from there whether or not, they're really going to do it to some of them, but...
No, I think at best people could probably speculate who will remain dead simply based on what we've seen and also based on what characters, peripheral characters, surround which of the characters that will come back. Because then you can figure out who else may not come back. Because if there's someone like let's say Gamora, so she might not come back. So all right, well, who else around her might not come? You know what I mean? So
yeah, there's a lot of different ways to kind of do the
right.
deduction.
You can kind of try and eliminate some people from the equation at least.
So James has got another one in here. This is the one he sent today. Yep. So this week, last night, this morning, insomnia and sucks. I guess he's up all night and all day. He started to watch this FX show, Blue. I think that's what it's titled, he says. The Imaginary Blue Flying Unicorn one. I'm not familiar with this.
I thought it was a documentary
wait.
about fellatio.
Unless he's talking about Happy, which is on Sci-Fi, which is the one where it's got what's his name from Oz and
Chris Maloney.
Yeah, Chris Maloney with Patton Oswalt as the tiny little blue imaginary character that only he can see because he's fucking crazy. It's over the top Grant Morrison comic book that they adapted over on Sci-Fi. But
that actually
Blue,
sounds like
I
it
don't
might be
know.
interesting.
Yeah. Happy, I think is the title. So this is actually what he's talking about. So he goes, this is some fucking sick shit in this show. Seriously, how did this get on cable TV? Like, is HBO or Showtime or straight to VHS dark type shit? And yet there's a comedy element to it, so you laugh when it's really fucked up shit that's happening.
Yeah, well, it's got to be some with Patton Oswalt.
Yeah. And I hope you all had a good visit with your family last week. Well, thank you, James. Yeah. James says, we miss you. I even loaded Mixler at 6 Central when your show starts out here and was like, where are oh, yeah. So, damn it, I don't get to hang out with him tonight. He was a little miffed.
Sorry.
But alas, it's Saturday morning. I'll catch up to you all tonight. My question is simple, easy, unlike some of the others that pose really, really in-depth questions, is, with the FDA approving lab-grown meat for sale, if human flesh was ever grown in a test tube, no actual humans killed or harmed, and it was declared the best-tasting meal, not even regular kill or kill the cow steaks compared,
I don't even need to hear the rest of the question.
would you eat it?
Nope.
I don't know.
No,
it depends.
Human flesh is not good for humans to eat. It's actually very unhealthy. You become very. I read something on this. You actually become seriously constipated if you eat too much of it.
I can imagine.
And to a point where it can really cause death.
Yeah, it's why cannibal societies don't really last long.
Really.
It's one of the whole transition into it doesn't take well. I mean, they've existed, but they don't historically do too well.
On top of just being all protein and no fiber, it's your body recognizes what it is and doesn't want to digest it.
Yeah, I think that's
it's part of it, really.
Yeah, I think that's part of those internal chemicals that reject shit. That makes. I think I've heard something similar too. Your body doesn't really process it right.
Yeah.
And I think the only reason that those cannibal cultures work at all is because it's like that's not all they eat.
Right.
And they also have over time adjusted to it.
Yeah, and it's probably mostly a vegetable diet, and that's the only source of meat.
Yeah. What are we having tonight, Steve? Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, if I was told it was kind of like healthy in small doses, as long as it wasn't like your regular lunch special. I wouldn't eat it at all. Yeah, I might.
No, I don't even want to have ever tasted it. Sorry.
Just because, like.
I think there are some things in life that are better left untried, and that's kind of one of those things.
That's true. It's hard to argue with an aspect like that. Yeah, definitely is some things that are better left untested.
Yeah.
So
just
Like I know I'm not into poop sex.
Right, and like
like scat stuff.
Just because it looks like when you're standing over the ledge of like a 40-foot drop, it looks like there's enough water down there to take it. Doesn't mean you should step off the edge. Without making sure it's at least 80 feet deep.
Yeah. If your body's telling you not to jump, then don't jump. But I'm saying is that, like, with the right amount of salt, pepper, and garlic, I don't know, man. Just about anything gets to be pretty good.
Jay stayed out of this one.
Yeah, Jay's like, I don't even have an opinion.
I got sidetracked with something that I have to respond to.
He probably knows something about all that Portuguese food he's been eating that we don't know.
All I know is that if I sit you guys down in front of a Radicchio, you guys are eating every fucking
the legendary fucking Radicchio.
The Radicchio. I think he just likes saying the word Radicchio.
I think it's a person. I think it's fucking Carmine Radicchio.
Yeah. Or Johnny Radicchio.
Johnny Radicchio from fucking South Newark Township.
South Brazil.
375 South Avenue, Newark.
Exit 316. I don't even know. Is that 945?
When they bring you a skewer of garlic steak.
Oh. So now... But to the question from young James, his cannibal-based question.
I wouldn't eat another person.
Do you think, how about this, to kind of like the whole trapped on a fucking mountain to survive? Let's say, like, you're the only survivor, and there are bodies there, much like that happened to those guys on the plane. Like, you know what I mean? Those soccer players.
I think the moment I see that I'm the only survivor up there, I start looking for ways to get the fuck down.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
I might be too far away.
I'm looking around like, I'm fucked if I stay here.
Yeah.
I need to move. I'm not thinking about eating anybody. The moment I realize I'm the only person that's alive, my thing becomes getting down.
It's fair point. So.
Or you might want to bring an arm with you just in case.
You never know. That's what I'm thinking.
You know what I mean?
A foot, toes, something.
I don't know. Maybe if you cook it right.
Well, I'm just thinking about the survival aspect.
A little garlic,
like
a rodizio.
Yeah. And sometimes they tell you to stay with the crash site. You know what I mean? But on a mountaintop thing, I think I would keep moving too.
Sometimes on mountaintops, you're fucked. I mean, I was watching, and I was in a YouTube hole one day and
watched the Mount Everest. How many bodies are up there? And shit.
Some shit like that. It was just like,
I've seen one of those too.
They actually like, oh yeah, this plane was just found in 2018. It crashed in like 1976.
Nice.
And it's like, yeah. So that's why I'm thinking I'm getting down.
Right.
If I die on the way down, I'm okay with that. I'm trying to survive.
Yeah.
You know.
Fair enough.
You remember on the Walking Dead where they cooked the guy's leg? It didn't look
that
too
was
bad.
early on.
It didn't look too bad.
Yeah, it didn't look too bad. For fucking season 5. That's
Tainted meat.
Looked like a giant drumstick.
Whose leg was that? That was
Bob. The Bob character.
Remember fucking that guy? That guy was terrible.
No, he wasn't.
No, I mean, it wasn't that bad. But it was kind of a crazy twist. It was like, oh, they're going to cut this guy up.
Well, I actually think it was kind of ballsy.
As a show, as a story point? Yeah. Nobody else was doing that. And it kind of came out of left field. All right, so emails.
We like left field.
What else we got, Bill?
Since we got James. James is like the all-star this week.
You got another? You put another
We
one
got
in?
another one here at 7:53 p.m. This is James. This is a live email. Since you mentioned the Bobbitt story, the radio guy I used to listen to in the mornings he never uses commas, James. Can we just establish that? The radio guy I used to listen to in the mornings, or all of his verbiage, that was killed by the Amtrak train, Doc Thompson. Thank you. Early in his radio career, he was in Vegas, and he had to babysit John Bobbitt as part of a radio station promotion. And I think it was a bar they were at. So hear and tell Doc the story is hilarious. I can't do it justice, but I'm just going to try to put the one big, hey, make sure thing he told us for the promotion. Make sure he was told about the promotion. Make sure John keeps his penis in his pants. Don't let him pull it out. Apparently, after being reattached, he liked to pull it out to show it off, which kind of fits with what I'm learning in the doc about him.
He made a movie.
Well, yeah, but like before the porn, at least at this point in the doc series,
he was nobody. Now he had a little attention.
He had a lot of attention.
He was willing to take advantage of it.
He was willing to ride it out. Like one of the early promotions he does is at a new and upcoming establishment called Hooters. That tells you when this was taking place. You know what I mean? The early days of Hooters. But yeah, he did a lot of like radio show stunts. I forgot he did the Howard Stern Christmas New Year's Eve pageant.
Yeah, I remember
was
that.
a fundraiser for him.
Right,
They put a clip in there of that where they had the penis on the tote board. That's like going further up. It's getting more erect as the numbers go up.
Right.
You know. And I think it was like $100,000 they managed to fucking raise for him. So there's that. So that's going to wrap up the emails. And then, as promised, we're going to get into a little Captain Marvel talk. Because, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Let's see, do I have a music bed that might feel appropriate? We can play this, right? Nope. Cancel that. We can go. Oh, pulled the cord out. Way to go, Bill. Well, that's my headphones. You guys can still hear that. I can't. There it goes. All right, I'm back on the team. Okay, so that's fair, right? Did that, and then
Do not want another single pop culture reference out of you for the rest of the trip. You understand?
Good thing we're not going anywhere. All right, so Captain Marvel. We won't get too spoiler heavy, but Jay, what are your overall thoughts on Captain Marvel? We'll start with you. Because why not?
Ow. Sorry.
That's how you feel about it. It hurt.
It hurt me. No,
So good it hurt.
So I saw it opening night.
Okay.
And basically, there's a lot of incantations of this character in Marvel Comics. We've established that on the show a couple.
Oh, the name, yeah.
And the character too. I mean, it was
Carol Danvers.
Yeah.
A lot of changes over the years.
And the thing is, you walking into this knowing very much that's an origin story.
Mm-hmm.
So the one I can compare it to the most is Captain America, the first Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
So on that front, you're looking at an origin film. It's not as fast-paced as, like, say, Avengers or the Captain America films, 2 and 3 and stuff like that. But for overall, I think that it's a solid origin movie. I thought that they gave Nick Fury a lot more to do than him just walking in with an eye patch saying,
cool shit
and leaving. So you get a little bit of origin on him too, which I liked.
Yeah.
It takes place in the 90s. They do a lot of throwback. They have a lot of fun with it. They made the Skrulls good guys.
Well, they made him sympathetic.
Which I wouldn't say
they could still end up being bad guys because they have their own needs that they're going to be facing in the future.
That's right.
But they've made him sympathetic at the very least.
And there's factions kind of a thing.
Exactly. So it's kind of like they have the Kree and the Skrulls with a little role reversal. This time, but it didn't bother me as I thought it would.
Yeah.
I didn't know it going in.
Yeah, me neither, right.
But Ben Mendelsohn really sells that fucking character.
Yeah, he does.
And at the end, like, it's fun. It's funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I thought that it could have easily been terrible.
Yeah.
That angle, I'm saying, that could have easily been misdirected.
Sure.
It could have easily, but they turned it around real nice.
Yeah.
Brie Larson bought her the moment she was on screen.
Right.
She really sold it for me. So don't go in looking for Avengers fast-paced. Know that this is an origin story.
Yeah.
There's some good scenes in it, good action scenes in it and whatnot. The cat, laughed a lot at the cat.
Sure.
What I mean? But I also kind of expected that because that I knew.
Well, you could just feel it with the cat.
Like the Firkin.
Yeah.
The Firkin,
There's a couple of scenes early on, you're like, oh, okay, there's something more going on with the cat. Like, it's just telegraphing it a little too hard.
But the thing is this, too. When you get I'm going all in. I don't care about with the post credits.
Okay.
Scene,
All right.
Really, it just fucking it's bang. It's like a bang post credits.
Yeah, it
scene.
really kind of just short and sweet and
just kind of like you got her story. It was worth it. I really liked the film. I really did. I think it's a very good origin story. Just don't go expecting it to put it on the level of like Avengers or Winter Soldier or Civil War. But I do think it's very good, and I think I'm glad they did it this way.
Right.
Because now they can go ahead and make a sequel and make it fucking gangbusters.
Got this stuff out of the way.
So they did it smart. And but when you get the post-credit scene, it's fucking boom. You're like, oh, I'm ready.
It's short, but it's not a lot happens, but it's good and it's delicious.
It's direct and to the point.
Yeah,
and it just tells you, oh, somebody's going to be there.
Like people were clapping and whistling and standing up. Like people really took to it. So
I wish I had seen it with a more energetic crowd. I will say that about my just experience seeing this one movie. I really felt like the room was just kind of dulled over for some reason, and it was packed. I was very surprised that and that gives a big impression of how other people are receiving it. Sometimes, I'm finding stuff funny, I'm laughing out loud, and it feels like the rest of the room really isn't. And so I kind of wondered, I'm glad to hear that you had with a crowd that was really reacting to it.
Well, I got to say this, too.
Yeah.
I didn't read I don't read reviews, to be honest with you. I just go into it.
Yeah.
But I went back, and I know I made great money and whatnot. But I'm saying to myself, it looks like it's got a mixed reaction.
Yeah. Let's not even get into all that.
No. But I want to go back to a point you were trying to make.
Okay.
The thing is like the average moviegoer can be an idiot because they're looking that each Marvel movie should be one up from the next one, and you can't look at it like that.
Yes,
you know what I mean. You can't just
certainly not this one.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Well, it's like you have Avengers Infinity War, right?
Right.
And like, okay, and we're now at fucking fuck 11. We're on 12 right now.
Yeah.
And it's fucking boom and boom and boom. So now here comes Captain Marvel. That's got to be 13 and 14 and 15.
Well, I think that's
I think that's what you're audience was expecting.
It might have been. It might have been.
And they can't.
Well, here's the thing too. I think with
I
live
don't think
audiences,
people are smart enough.
Well, here's the thing. I think with live audiences too, I will notice that like there is just a room vibe sometimes when you go to see a movie or go to see a live thing where like it's like, oh my God, this room is laughing at everything. Like, you know, or anything. And sometimes it's like this room is laughing at nothing. But it's the whole room. So when that happens, I don't think it's necessarily the movie. It's like the room, like no one's really broken the seal yet in this room. Like the first kind of laugh really didn't get a verbal loud reaction. And so the room kind of stays like that. Like I don't think it's necessarily about the movie itself is what I'm coming to realize. Now, like, you know what I mean? Like thinking about it in a grander context. Like, so like, I think the whole issue with whether or not people were like hating on it before they walked in and all this other stuff, like, yeah, that's stuff that's going on. But I don't know if it really keys into what my point was. Really.
Maybe I'll say it like this. They're not looking at this as Captain Marvel. They're looking at this as Marvel movie part 22.
Well, that's another thing. Yeah. That's,
you know what I'm
that's,
saying?
yeah,
that's what, so they're like comparing it to the one that came before,
right?
And the one that came before that. So and I'm telling you, like I know that that's kind of extreme to say, but I'm not far off the mark about it.
I think you're right on that because you're definitely right on that too. I was just kind of fucking just point out that I felt like the one thing I said about the audience is different than the thing that you're saying, but I agree with the thing you're saying because I think that's a thing for people overall with this movie is that, and that's the thing I was talking to Bob about, like the best description I kind of heard from somebody about this movie was that like it feels like a Marvel Phase 1 movie, where because it's kind of origin driven and it's not as bombastic and the stakes aren't constantly ratcheted to the fucking roof, that it doesn't feel like a Marvel movie does now. Or these days, or how they've kind of morphed into. Like, it fits better, like, as far as its tone and its speed and its pace and its rhythms, it feels a little bit more like something stage one. Like, you know what I mean? And it's kind of true. And I think it speaks to what you're saying, because people are kind of going in expecting, like, oh, man, I'm going to get all fucking kind of crazy shit going on here.
Right,
because
like, Black Panther was like that, and what's the other one? Doctor Strange was like that,
too. And that's why I'm saying,
was kind of this kind of speed, and so was the first Captain America. So by that logic, I feel like this works as a perfect origin story. I'm glad they did it this way. If they did it the other way, I don't think it would have been as good. No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No, in order to get Captain Marvel right, they couldn't really do it any other way because her history, the history of Carol Danvers, going into the movie is very, very complex.
Yeah.
And they've kind of condensed it down into this nutshell kind of situation.
Right.
But even still, you have to get through a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And then she gets her powers.
Yeah. When they really unlock.
When they really unlock. But I'm talking about like the moment she gets her powers.
Oh, fair enough. I'm sorry.
And then now you see that it's kind of flipped the script, and now you're still getting background.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's a lot going on in the first half hour or 40 minutes of this movie.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of story that has to happen.
Yeah.
A lot of background you got to get. It's a very complex origin story. This is not an origin for a character that has never been flushed out. This is a very complex character.
Yeah.
So. And
I think because they managed to find like a good rhythm and simple kind of way, people might not realize that.
Right.
That it actually is kind of like they kind of took a complex thing and they kind of, really shaped it into something straightforward.
But you guys walked into that theater knowing that.
Yeah.
I don't think the average film goer does.
Oh, no. They don't. They kind of walk in and figured, okay, I'm going to get some kind of straightforward.
Yeah, I'm going to get some roller coaster.
Yeah. And that it does kind of have its moments, but they come later in the film. And it is the thing where, like, once she kind of opens up and she starts putting on the whoop ass, then it is like, oh, wow, yeah, she really is like the most powerful character in the fucking whole place.
Yeah, when you see her in space and she changes into her space suit.
Yeah,
the space form.
Yeah, the blue and red, and it puts the mask down.
And she just starts flying through shit.
Basically, ships, what I mean? Yeah,
through giant spaceships.
Yeah,
just flying through them. That tells you right there. She's gonna.
Yeah,
she really is the most powerful person in the Marvel universe.
And the way that she kind of had like this kind of. The characters having like this kind of fun with it at that point where it's a little gleeful. It's like I've become the airplane that they would never let me fly,
right?
Or like I get the fucking this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just enjoying it. It was kind of fun. Like, you know what I mean? That's when it peaked up the most for me, was like in that scene where it was like, oh, look, she's just kind of like in her glory. Like, you know, it was really cool. I fucking dug it. You know what I mean? Overall, don't get me wrong, I feel like the movie's probably not going to rate as high as other Marvel movies for me, and it's going to fall into that era of like Captain America 1, basic origin stuff. I was a little kind of thrown with the Skrull switch up. And it kind of like grew on me once I realized that like this is one pack of Skrulls. It doesn't mean that they're all good guys. It doesn't mean that like they're not maybe going to do invasion still.
Right.
It could all still play out because they're obviously fleeing from a bad regime.
Yeah.
So those other guys are still bad. You know, it doesn't mean they're all good.
Right.
So, but I did want to see a little bit more of Mendelsohn. Like, I mean, I know you don't need it. They skip it. It's just like take it for what it is. He somehow became the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, but I wanted to see like a scene of some establishing kind of scene, even if it was flashback or some cute flashback where it's like punctuating a fucking joke or something.
Like
and we cut to it.
But what he did with it, I liked it. I was into it. I laughed.
Yeah. His performance and all that stuff was good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Story-wise, I'm talking about like there was things where like I was stuck feeling oh, did I miss something somehow? Or did I miss a line of dialogue that at least like keys into that? Like, because that's a thing sometimes I feel like, oh, like it must be mentioned if they're not going to show someone kind of mentions something in an offhanded way, or it'll come later. You know what I mean? And there was a couple of things like that I felt like they jumped over and just wanted you to kind of like just, you know, you've seen that scene maybe a million times, so we're going to like not bother showing it to you, like how the bad guy actually finds the guy he's going to impersonate, and then like what he does with the body and all this kinds of stuff or something. Like you've seen that before. We don't have to waste our time with that. We can cut that out. Like I get it. It's a little bit more dramatic to just jump to it too. But there are some times where I'm like, oh no, I kind of wanted to fucking know how that guy pulled that off. Because not for nothing, like to impersonate the head of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's a little bit of a challenge. It's not like I'm going to impersonate one of the guardsmen, you know? So that kind of like, if it was some other kind of, if it was...
It was a little convenient to say that some of them are already here and just be done with it, you know.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
They kind of did that early in the movie.
You know, if you told me all of a sudden, oh, he was actually Clark, I mean, not Clark, Nick's partner, Coulson. Like, if he was Coulson, I'd probably be more likely to be like, oh, I get it then. Like, you know, Coulson's a noob, and, like, somehow he took advantage of that. You know what I mean? I just picture the super head of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's just like... I'm under high security. I'm in the Pentagon all day.
I also like seeing Ronan and Korath again.
That was good.
That was good, you know, from the Guardians films.
You know what? The special effects on Coulson and Nick Fury, making them look young.
Yeah, it's the best I've ever seen.
Crazy.
Yep.
Just crazy. Coulson looked a little, like, obvious to me, though. But Nick Fury stuff, like, you couldn't find it.
I think that's just, like, the texture, the skin color and everything. It makes it a little easier to blend. Mm. You know, when the skin's a little darker than when it's lighter.
Yeah, probably is, you know. As opposed to trying to, like, you know, just make those daytime Caucasian flesh tones look real. Easy.
I do think what they did with Michael Douglas and Ant-Man was good. Because he looked like he walked right off the Wall Street.
Oh,
yeah. The early stuff, yeah.
It's always been good. Let's just leave it at that. And it's only gotten better every time. That's the other thing. You know, Tony Stark looking young in that one movie.
Right.
What you just said about Ant-Man. Michael Douglas. And then here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucking kind of crazy.
Yeah, once they had the basic idea, it was just a matter of refining the software and throwing more power at it. Mm. And
Kurt Russell and Guardians.
So James is looking for a little clarification. Do you actually have a reason why she became so powerful? And I kind of thought that was just kind of like...
They kind of like had her power like psychologically locked up.
That's the thing. Like, once she takes off the thing on her neck? Yeah. It's like when she gets full range of everything, right?
Yeah. From there on, that kind of like is locking some of that power down somehow.
Yeah. They're keeping her kind of like.
That's like their leash. On her.
Yeah.
You know, because she's so powerful, but she doesn't realize that it's a leash.
Yeah.
They have this whole bullshit that they tell her.
Right. Okay.
And she was great.
Yeah, she was. She nailed it. I mean, she went crazy for this. She made them give her time to get in shape. Right. They wanted to go right into production originally. She's like, no, I want to get in shape for this. Yeah. And she turned herself into a badass, pushing her trainer's Jeep up a hill or some shit.
Yeah, I watched a bunch of stuff on her. You know, she was trying to give it her all as much as she could.
That's great. Well, this could be a career-defining role for her, so it's absolutely the right thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, is if they'll let her do that.
If I gotta get
it.
nitpicky on it at all, I'd say I wish some of the lines were just a little funnier kind of jokes. Because sometimes for her, it's just a look. Like she just kind of does, they do the look thing with her. Like she kind of gives like a sarcastic kind of like head turn and a like.
And then I fell in love.
Right, don't get me wrong. A little smitten too.
The humorous moments
I was a little
were a little more hit, a little more missed than hit.
Yeah, you know, and I felt like it was a little bit of that too with Nick Fury's kind of like one-liners here or there. But overall, like, you know,
I was expecting it to be a little more funnier when he gets scratched.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, it's just a cat scratch. I'll be all right. And everyone's like, oh, no.
No.
I figured that would be a little more funnier, but it really wasn't.
People applauded when the cat. See, that's the difference with your audience.
Yeah.
Because when that
My
happened,
audience didn't react, really. They were kind of like, oh, there was some laughs and there was some like, ooh, like people making a connection.
Well, when people went ooh and started clapping. And then when they said, it's nothing.
You saw it in Newark, right?
I saw it in Edison at the dine-in over here, right across over the bridge.
But, so for my with the crowd I was with, I think there was definitely some reactions to it. But I think the one thing that much like the Skrulls, I was kind of like mixed about it, but then came full around because
the same reaction I did. Yeah,
because I'm like, oh, that's the secret origin of that. And then I was like, I was talking to somebody at work, and he was like, yeah, because he was like all annoyed by it, and he was like, yeah, because it's stupid because he said it was because of X, Y, Z, and then I said to him, I was like, yeah, but if you lost your eye to an alien cat, I don't think you'd be telling everybody either. You make mysterious kind of like, oh, you don't want to see the other guy jokes. You know what I mean? Which makes sense to Nick Fury. That it's all been kind of a little bit of a puff up of him being like, you know, I'm badass, I lost this in the war, or you just think whatever you think, I'll make it a mystery because I can't tell you anyway. Really. Like, you know, my job keeps me from doing that. But whether or not it's too cool or uncool to mention, it's easier or better for him to let you.
It's just easier all around for him to say it's a war wound.
Yeah, you know what I mean, and let you wonder and then live with the mystery of it.
Which is actually a reference to how the original story of Nick Fury got his.
Yeah,
and all in all, the effects and the sets for this, recreating the '90s.
Yeah.
Go to the movies and see this if you haven't already. This is a fun ride, I think.
Absolutely.
And a stash for me.
Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah, I think at this point Marvel has made so many really good movies that even if there's one that's a miss, you still got to stash it along with everything else, just because you're going to want to have the whole collection.
It's a different kind of context, I think, these days, where it's like, even if Marvel makes a quote-unquote like bad movie, it's only like a bad movie in the Marvel sense. Like, if somebody else made that movie, it'd be a pretty amazing movie. Overall, for some like small character I'd never heard of.
They're pretty much on for the most part.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So even if it's like not earth shattering in a sense,
some are better than others, but they all are pretty solid.
So I will say that soundtrack was really cool because it was all '90s rock stuff. The last song was a little bit too much on the nose for me.
But I don't remember what it was.
It was "I'm Just a Girl." It was No Doubt.
Oh, yeah.
But I get why. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like the one that you probably knew you were going to use first. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
but it's so on the nose.
Yeah, well, there is the whole girl power theme that's going through the whole thing.
So, but yeah, top to bottom, I liked it a lot. I just, can't say it's a 10 or anything like that, but it's a cash stash.
It's definitely like an 8 out of 10 at least.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's above average. It's above the norm.
Absolutely. It's definitely more worth your time and money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I kind of hold Captain America's Civil War in such high regard.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, you know.
And the first Iron Man too.
There's a lot, you know. There's a lot that kind of like if you were making a big list of like.
And the first Guardians, you know what I mean?
There's 19 other movies that like if you were gonna rank them, it's like I feel bad for anything in the bottom
this is
5.
number 1 on my list. No, you know what? That one's number 1 on my. You know what? Can I have a list of just all number 1s?
Yeah, because it's like if I looked at if you did that right, like made some kind of internal personal ranking, right?
Yeah, maybe
you would look at the ones that are lowest on that list and feel bad, like no, but they shouldn't be there.
Right.
They'd be number 1 on some other list.
Well, I could be okay with Ant-Man as number 3 and Ant-Man and the Wasp is number 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But everything else really kind of has to be like. There's nothing lower than like you could maybe argue for a bunch of top 3s.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It gets neck and neck at a certain point.
I mean, they're just so close overall. I mean,
yeah.
even the Ant-Man movies, which are more of like family movies.
Hey, even Iron Man 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah, even with with that guy. Jeez.
Don't talk bad about the cockatoo.
I didn't mind Iron Man 2.
I know you didn't.
Neither did you.
The Mandarin was.
That's the third one.
Yeah, that's the third one. And that's a
Third
different
one.
conversation.
That's different. Like I enjoyed it for what it was.
Like I get what you're doing. I enjoy it for what it is.
But they shouldn't have did that to the Mandarin.
Right. Ultimately, you kind of threw something to the trash heap.
Yeah. The audience, the potential audience of 1.2 billion people, or however many it is right now over in Asia,
And Ben,
is why they did that.
And Ben Kingsley is an actor that can fucking give you
Right.
a Mandarin that you would love.
He can give you whatever you want at any moment.
Yeah.
To not at least in that movie have like some shadowy figure who we never get to see, so you can cast him later.
Yeah.
That the real Mandarin is out there. Like that's all I like. Really kind of would have.
Yeah.
Made me feel a little better.
That would be nice.
But
maybe they'll work that into the Shang-Chi movie. Right? Is that it?
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi. I got it.
Shang-Chi. I mean, I guess they could. You know. He's been mentioned enough that he really exists, you know, the Mandarin.
Right.
All right, so I guess that's really it with Captain Marvel. Not much else to say, you know.
Yeah, if you
it was a
haven't
fun little
seen it,
trip. It was a fun little
why?
trip to the '90s.
And you don't have to wait long to see her again.
That's true.
Yeah, I like seeing Blockbuster Video.
That's true.
You'll see her next month.
See you next month. I will, since we're kind of talking Marvel a little bit, I will say that Marvel put out the newer trailer this week.
Yeah, it has her in it, right?
It has her in it. It's the last beat. It's her and Thor.
Along with about a minute of Infinity War footage.
No, what's funny is that Marvel is so good at just like making a trailer that's got like nothing in it. That like half of that trailer is stuff from
Infinity War.
It's Infinity War. It's Iron Man 1. It's Captain America 2. It's you know what I mean. It's like a montage of like other stuff to fill out the time. You get literally like 2 scenes that are new to this particular trailer. They're both good, but one is like the cool walk of 5 people. And you kind of did see that a little bit in the other trailer.
You got, what, 2 seconds of close-up conversation face-to-face with 2 people, and then that's it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And, like, maybe possibly some sexual tension between Thor and Captain Marvel. I'm going to ship that. Like, I want those 2 to hook up, because I have a feeling...
They're but the only 2 that can, like, handle each other.
There you go. I was trying to figure out how to phrase that, and Bob fucking put it right in so succinctly. It's like, Wonder Woman and Superman. They can't bang other people. They'll break them. You know? It's like season 1 of Jessica Jones when she's hooking up with Luke Cage. Yeah. It's like, oh, finally they found their match. They can break some furniture, if you know what I mean. So that's going to wrap it up, I think, for this week, for the main show.
Nice.
Does it sound right?
Came in at an hour 45.
See that?
Like the old days.
Old days, the good old days. We'll start a poll.
We spent a good amount of time on Captain Marvel. Everyone got a nice amount of in.
Yeah, I think so. I think it went around nice. Let's see what anybody in the chat room. Now that'll kind of open up a whole conversation we just had. We'll save it for the after show. So stick around, linger longer, hang out with us. We're gonna, do the old after show thing. Linger longer, waddle doodle. And I'm gonna vamp a little bit. Oakley dokley. I'm gonna vamp a little bit as I try to pull up some music for the in between. Jay, what did you have for breakfast today?
Waddle doodly.
He had a bowl of waddle doodles.
And he has sausage, egg, and cheese on an English muffin.
Oh, I'm fucking jealous.
He's jealous of that breakfast.
A little bit.
See, I could have said a roll, but I said English muffin, and that just changed the whole fucking game.
You know, let me go back here. Let me go to my liked. And then I'll just pull up something that we've probably heard before, but ain't going to hurt nobody. All right. I got it.
Was it John Cougar?
John Cougar. So with that,
you got something? I was gonna break out a little.
Yeah, as soon as I saw you looking, I was like, "Oh my God, no!" I'm only kidding. All right, so with that,
linger longer. Where are we at?
Well, James says, "Hurry up, go drop your deuces and get back here."
Well, who's at what?
So Jay is on Twitter at Uncle Jay's thing. Bob is at
Bob WTPC.
I'm at Wicked Theory. The show is
Wicked Theory.
Yeah. The email is podcast at Wicked Theory.
Yeah, I've heard you say that so many times. I could do it, if you need to go.
Hit it.
Thanks for that. I was bluff.
Oh, nice. So you can find the show anywhere. Podcasts are given away for free. WickedTheory.com is the website. Thank you to Agent Palmer for helping out. As always, check out agentpalmer.com for all kinds of pop culture blog posts and cool stories and tidbits and whatnots. Because, if you ever wanted to see us do that, we don't. But he does. And so, and sometimes I proofread those.
Have a shot.
James goes, I'm at Mojo James on Twitter. If anybody wants to go follow James, he's got more followers than me. And I think that'll kind of wrap it up.
So play some music. Let's get out of here.
All right, we can do that. Start with this, because this is what takes us out. If you're listening live, stick around. We'll be back in a minute for some after show. If you're not, I don't know, go to Patreon, subscribe over there, patreon.com/Wicked Theory. And, we love you. Hugs and kisses to you and the missus. And everybody else, just mind your business. I don't know. I got nothing. Sorry. This has been the Wicked Theory podcast, and for that, we apologize.
The Wicked Theory podcast is heard live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern until whenever. Just go to mixler.com/wicked-theory. Mixler is MIXLR. Sign up to join the chat. Then click the follow button to get reminders whenever the show goes live. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, wherever good podcasts are given away for free, and at wickedtheory.com. You can support the show at patreon.com/wickedtheory. There you can get the after show if you miss it live. God forbid. Plus other exclusive episodes. As always, send your emails to podcast@wickedtheory.com.